Welcome to The Explainer, with analysis from HDIN Research. Today, we are diving deep into the story of Owlet. This was a beloved baby tech brand that got pushed right to the edge by regulators, only to pull off one of the most incredible turnarounds we've ever seen. Let's get right into it. So this wasn't just some business school case study for Owlet. This was real. When the regulators came knocking, this question became a full-blown existential crisis for a company that parents really loved. We're going to break down exactly how they navigated that storm and, in the process, completely reinvented themselves. You know, for any company playing at the intersection of health and technology, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, is the ultimate gatekeeper. And getting their stamp of approval, it isn't just a hurdle. We're talking about a grueling, expensive, and unbelievably complex process. It's a barrier that can absolutely crush a company or, as we're about to see with Owlet, forge its greatest strength. All right, so let's jump into part one, the regulatory gauntlet. Owlet's journey here is, frankly, a masterclass. It's the story of how they transformed themselves from a popular consumer gadget into a fully certified medical device. And you better believe that strategic pivot had a massive financial payoff. So now, let's look at the numbers. We're diving into their 2025 annual report to see exactly how this whole regulatory strategy fueled an incredible turnaround. The results are pretty striking. In 2025, revenue just surged to a company record of over $105 million. That is a massive 35% jump from the year before, and it was driven by all this pent-up demand from consumers who are just waiting for their newly FDA-cleared products. But here's the number that really tells the story of this comeback. For the first time in its entire history, Owlet hit a full year of positive adjusted EBITDA. Now, this isn't just about growing sales. This is about proving they could build a sustainable, profitable business, a huge milestone. So how'd they do it? Well, a key driver is their software platform, Owlet 360. The best way to think about it is like the operating system for your baby's health. It uses the company's enormous data set to give you personalized insights, and it shifts their whole focus from a one-time hardware sale to a recurring subscription revenue stream. And this new subscription model, it's clearly a hit with parents. In its very first year, Owlet 360 attracted over 98,000 subscribers. That kind of rapid adoption just proves the demand is there for deeper, data-driven insights, especially insights that are backed by the credibility of a medical device. And for the company, that means a predictable, steady base of revenue. Okay, this brings us to a really key insight. Going through that whole painful regulatory process, it wasn't just about survival. It was a brilliant strategic move to build a powerful competitive advantage, what investors like to call a digital moat. Now this illustrates the two worlds perfectly. On one side of this huge gap, you have the crowded Wild West market of unregulated wellness gadgets. You know, easy to get into, lots of unverified claims. On the other side, you have the exclusive club of FDA-cleared medical devices, stuff that hospitals actually trust. Owlet is one of the very few that successfully built a bridge and crossed that gap. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The company says it themselves right in their annual report. They said achieving this clearance sets a high regulatory bar for new entrants. They essentially climbed the wall and then pulled the ladder up right behind them, making it incredibly difficult for any competitor to even think about following. This visual really captures the core of their entire transformation. Look, this wasn't just some rebranding exercise. It was a fundamental shift in the company's DNA. They are no longer a consumer tech company, they are a medical device company, and they're validated by the highest regulatory authority in the entire country. So, now that they've built this powerful new foundation, what does the company's roadmap for 2026 even look like? Let's get into our final section and find out. Their strategy from here seems really clear and focused. First, they're going to double down on what's already working by scaling up the Owlet 360 subscription platform. Second, they're taking this medically certified model global with a planned launch in India. And third, they're digging in even deeper with the healthcare system itself through partnerships with hospitals and insurance providers. And just a quick note, this deep dive into Owlet's public filings has been brought to you by the independent, data-driven analysis of HDIN Research. And all of that leaves us with one final provocative question. Owlet's journey shows that what was once seen as a massive barrier can actually become the ultimate competitive advantage. So, as consumers and as parents demand more trust and more reliability from our devices, You have to wonder, will rigorous FDA approval become the new price of entry for the entire consumer health tech industry?